All right. Preparing this live transmission of spirit. Much respect to all of my brothers and sisters of light, of Christic light. I have much overwhelming gratitude for all of you coming together in this sacred space, our sacred space together. Our community, our frequency, our shield. And so it's a great honor to do this, to walk this path along with each and every one of you. A huge, beautiful, divine honor. Thank you, brothers and sisters. So grateful I see a lot of you in your journey, awakening, reclaiming thyself. Know thyself. Indigo children, starseeds, lightworkers, empaths, angelic humans, azurites, oraphim, kirashe, kundere, unisai, machiwa. This is our time together. Team Indigo, machiwa. Indigo children. One of my favorite topics. Many of you are indigos. It doesn't have to be children, obviously children grow up. You're still going to be an indigo adult. You can just say indigo or indigos. So it's an identity. It's not just some new age term or idea, something way up in the clouds, in the rainbows. It's a tangible guardian identity. Something that you find within yourself along your spiritual journey. It doesn't mean all of us who are awakening are indigos. It's a specific bloodline, you guys. And so one thing I just want to say, you're not the body. That's an extension of your consciousness, but your true identity is that soul essence which incarnated into the body. The Guardians call it soul integration, also called fetal integration. It's a process. You choose, as a soul essence, your parents. You even can make an agreement with your parents. You're at the soul level, which we understand from these teachings as being in the second universe. Dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Not here on Earth, dimensions 1, 2, and 3. A whole nother reality and universe and dimensions. So you make a contract up there, an agreement with your parents, the soul level of your parents. This is what the Guardian teachings say. We actually, there's different kinds of agreements. For starseeds, they're doing the Palladorian agreements. We have birthing contracts. We have soul agreements. So it's kind of like a mission, a personal agenda that you're agreeing with others. So many of these agreements, it's kind of like a family of you who are repeating in different roles. Maybe in one lifetime, your mother is your sister or even your uncle. Maybe your grandma is your daughter or your son. These are different soul essences. You're not going to always come, for example, as a male. You're not going to always be a female. And you're not going to always have gender. Sometimes you're a male, sometimes you're a female, sometimes you're androgynous. Don't forget about that. Quite frankly, gender is a low-level evolution, meaning that you're only going to experience it for 6 dimensions. As soon as you enter the 7th dimension, there's no more gender. I've heard our teacher Ashiana talk about this. This is actually the 3rd universe. density 3, dimensions 7, 8, and 9, there's actually no more, you would say, individualization. It's more of a collective consciousness. That actually starts in the second universe, which is called super consciousness, where you're experiencing the race identity. So there's many different levels of ourselves, but when we talk about indigo children, we're talking about a whole nother ball game, you guys. Now we talk about here the context of creation, so we can understand concepts, advanced concepts like the indigo children. Because without that context, without understanding the 15-dimensional time matrix or the density levels and the dimensional levels, it's hard to pinpoint what exactly is an indigo. So when you're going and exploring in your journey these concepts, you start to realize this in your awareness and even in your remembering. You can confirm these principles, not just study them and believe in them. You actually will go into a level of cognizance, of witnessing, of testimony. And so I'll show the diagram, but just so you know right away, we exist in the 15-dimensional time matrix. And the indigo children, and in those 15 dimensions, every 3 dimensions is another universe. Okay, this is density universe 1. Dimensions 1, 2, 3. It's physics. Particle physics. It's bass tone, overtone. What happens when you take 2 tones and put them together? Tones, as in sound tones. Automatically, 2 tones create a third tone called the resonant tone. So this is why every universe has a bass tone, overtone, and a resonant tone in each universe. Dimensions 1 is the bass tone, dimension 2 is the overtone, dimension 3 is the resonant tone. The second universe, dimension 6 is the bass tone. No, so I skipped them, sorry. Dimension 4 is the bass tone. Dimension 5 would be the overtone. Dimension 6 is the resonant tone, and on up. So we have 5 universes. And there's 3 types of indigo children. Type 1, type 2, type 3. So the lowest being the type 3. Lowest as in frequency, but even the indigo type 3s will develop into an indigo type 1 eventually. The indigo type, 2s. And then the 2s will develop into the indigo type 1. So it's not saying lowest, I just mean as in template, as in DNA template. They have the lowest DNA template. The lowest indigo is density 5 consciousness, which is dimensions 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so these are high-level beings. Now, they have a specific route coming down through the Merkabas and the dimensions. They all come through to get to Earth. They're all going to come through down through Stargate 6. It's in the Voyager's 2 book. Got this backwards, what I usually do. Okay, it's in the Voyager's 2 book. It talks about this. SG6. And it also talks a little bit about Jeshua, Jesus. And how Jesus also came through SG6, which is on another planet called Sirius. Cyrus or Sirius or this is where the Guardians come from. There's actually Sirius B. That's the actual system. So we come through Sirius B, including beings like Jeshua, because he's also part of the Holy Grail line, so which is the Indigo Child line. Within my own journey, I realized myself as an indigo child. So it's not coming from a space of ego, you guys. This is simply what I've experienced, and I'm just reflecting that. And once you understand that and realize that within yourself, you kind of become more, I would say, serious in your spiritual journey. Spirituality becomes, you realize the role, you realize your purpose, you realize your responsibility. And I believe, just from what I've experienced, literally experienced, once again, that word, cognition. I've felt this cognition as an indigo type 1. I've seen other indigos up there, including Jeshua, including Ashana, including John the Baptist. That's not a Christian thing only, you guys. This is coming out of these teachings. Remember, the bad guys take our names and put them in their stories. This is actual magical technique, a black magic technique, to overlay onto the guardian energy, the Christic energy, because they have to attach an anti-Christic energy in their mind, canceling it out. So there is a John the Baptist. It's even talked about in these, but not from the Christian point of view, and doesn't talk about Jesus from the religion point of view, nor does it talk about God from the the Christic point of view. We talk about God as being not as an old man in the sky, is not a man, is not a male, but as a frequency, as a consciousness, a unified, universal, even, cosmic consciousness. Doesn't have a body form, so is not a pronoun. This is a man twist, and I do mean man because that's what it's being ruled by, men, not women. It's a patriarchy thing. And just saying the answer isn't matriarchy, okay? It's not, of course women are going to be saying it's our turn. You guys, that's not the solution. That's another imbalance, okay? The concept of twin flames and soulmates. It's not two women. It's not two women. There is a teaching in these Emerald Order teachings called the sacred sexuality. It doesn't talk about no same gender. You will actually understand it. The parts and energy systems of the female and the parts and the energy systems of the male work in a sacred manner. Not two women, not two male, just saying. There is a sacred science to these teachings, and you're welcome to explore and study those teachings. So, Indigo Children are here to help there's different roles actually for Indigo Type 1s, Indigo Type 3s, and Indigo Type 2s, and I will be covering that tonight. I just wanted to introduce that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me say hello to everybody coming here on this live transmission. Bless all of you for being here. Thank you for spending a part of your Tuesday night with us. Blessings, Holy Ones. Machiwa. I want to start off right away offering my gratitude to Stephen Oswald. Thank you, brother. Machiwa. And I noticed from my time zone, you made that at 633, which is a very beautiful frequency that just shows and reflects synchrony. Thank you, Stephen Oswald. Bless you, Holy One. Much respect. Yeah, Steve, you're right, brother. We all have masculine and feminine energies, but we have more polarity than the other. Just like the particle universe has more magnetic feminine energies. I don't like to call it feminine because it's magnetism from a scientific level, not from a human or body expression level. But, the parallel universe, the antiparticle universe, is mostly electric. But like Steve said, it has a little bit of both. It has mostly one and a little bit of the other. This is actual expression. You can see the expression. Women are mostly magnetic. they attract, they pull. Wow, look at that beautiful woman. Magnetic. It's an expression. They're mostly magnetic. But you can see some masculine characteristics in certain females who express it more than than most feminine women. But we're both supposed to be coming, like I said a little bit earlier, we're supposed to be coming into a union of both magnetic and electric equally, not an extreme to the right or to the left. That's polarization. We're trying to unify, reclaim our true form, which is androgynous. That doesn't mean you here on earth. We're not meant to be androgynous here. You're not meant to change your gender here. You're not meant to mutilate your genitals. Just saying. But there's a Luciferian attack on the human race, and this Baphomet frequency energy of I don't want to get into this political debate, but you understand it is an attack. Anything trans changing, they want you to be something other than your sex, something other than human. They want you to be part cybernetic, part android. I just watched a show like that recently where the human race is either one or the other. It's actually a new alien series. Like, it's coming off of the original Alien, with Sigourney Weaver, but it doesn't have Sigourney Weaver. But these are like young people, and it talks at the very beginning of the movie about how the human race is diverging into one of these three types of hybrid humans. You guys, that is transhumanism. You're taking your the original template. Let me mute my computer. Anything that takes your original and wants to change it, it's a distortion, and it's coming from Luciferian consciousness. Extraterrestrial Luciferian consciousness. You guys can disagree. Bless you and your life choices. We're just talking about it from the organic blueprint. You're androgynous. You're not female. You're not male. You're not a twisted gender either. You're not a part human either. That's not the divine blueprint. You see how the fallen angelics, the Luciferians, the Satanists want to take you off of your original. It is an ancient attack on the human race. We didn't just have this issue nowadays. We had this issue in ancient times. It's even in ancient Egypt, I meant to say Atlantis. This is part of our history. These fallen angels have been involved with us, our planet, and our race for millions of years. And on this channel, in these teachings, you will find about the forbidden history. Machiwa. Sir Madism, Machiwa brother to you, Holy One. Lady Tracy Ann. Welcome, Melbourne, Australia. It's an honor to have you, Lady Tracy Ann. El Salvador in the house. Mahara. Somebody's been studying Liren Anuhazi. Somebody's been studying the Christos teachings. Bless you, Holy One. Hampan Mermaid. I went up on members. How do I find you all on Discord? I didn't know how to look it up. Well, because we had a bunch of trolls, we had to hide that link. So please reach me, Hanpan, and anybody, whatever membership you are, you all have an access to the Discord chat server. So please, I might even give Indigo Wizard the authority to do this himself. But otherwise, you guys can contact me, direct message me on Facebook, Instagram, or my email, which is all linked below, you guys. That's how you do it, Hanpan. Bless you, sister. Good to see you, by the way. Anuhazi, dude, woohoo! Yeah, you said it, brother. He just like Anuhazi, dude, just mentioned too. Jaden Luma. Looks like I'm behind you guys, but let me scroll through this. Free White Dove. And if you guys have any questions, please tag Christos Avatar TV in your message so I can see it. Indigo Wizard, what's up, brother? Yeah, that's my email, but yeah, thank you, brother. You don't put an @ sign at the beginning, though. It goes in the middle like you did. Down in it. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. So do you, Holy One. I hope you are. Thank you for being here with us. Sandra in the house. Members, thank you for being a member, Holy One. You got Free White Dove. What's up, sister? How you doing? Wendy Jones. Blessings. I think crystal rays are more of a New Age term. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not mentioned in the Guardian teachings. It's a New Age concept. We have indigo children, not crystal children. We have... is it interesting how I mentioned that the indigos are coming through the 6th dimension? What is your 6th chakra? We got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. 6th chakra is the 6th dimension, is the 6th root race. It is the line, the Holy Grail line, the Indigo Children bloodline that are coming through. And this is why they also have that activated. Indigo Children have their 3rd eye activated at birth. Even if they're not aware of it because of parents, because of whatever, they could be experiencing, I can guarantee that they will be experiencing psychic abilities as babies, even in the womb, as fetuses. Aware. Even though 3D humans won't believe that or think it's impossible because they're stuck in 3D. They're not experiencing ESP or psychic abilities. But that's a New Age term from my point of view, Holy One. Blessings to you. I've never heard any, Ashiana never, said anything about crystal children. What would that be? Now, there might be something called rainbow children because that's the Kundalini. That's the Kirishe. Rainbow light. So that is density 5, the Kirishe. So those are rainbow type of... I've heard the rainbow reference, but never heard a crystal children reference. And to each their own, there's going to be varying different beliefs out there. So bless you in your beliefs, Holy One. I just can't answer it from an emerald order point of view. Down in it, dissociative personality disorder, not that I know of, but what you're talking about is not coming from spirituality, it's coming from psychology. You've been labeled as a dissociative personality disorder. That's become part of your identity, if that's what, this is one of the main reasons that they came out with psychology. It's not a Christic thing, it's not a spiritual thing. Psychology is not a spiritual thing. It is not a solution. It is not healing anything. Certainly when they prescribe you medications and pharmaceuticals, just like they're doing, like tonight's topic is about indigos, they attack the indigos by doing exactly this. Labeling them, taking them to a shrink or a psychologist and putting them on, Ritalin, suppression therapy, something that keeps their consciousness down. It's wicked. It's evil, man. It's an attack on the indigo children. They weaponize it. So, any type of disorders is a type of consciousness that can be healed. Narcissistic disorder, they call it some type of disorder. You got all these disorders. It's a program. It's a mind control, putting you in a label. Now that becomes your identity, but it's not your identity. You realize whatever issues you're having or experiencing is not something that you have to live with. You can heal those disorders. I would even say, why not learn about meditation? Well, why not learn about completely changing your diet into an alkaline vegan diet? How about learning to do pranayama breath work? How about learning to do your Maharic seal, which is the Christos ray shield? And let's see how many distorters are left after those things. I also like to add on, it's good to have exercise in your life. Any form of exercise. If you don't want to do anything, at least do walking. Go for a walk for 10 minutes plus. Take your little doggies out for a walk. There's no excuses to have disorders. You can't blame your genetics. You can't blame circumstance. You guys, we are Christic beings, and each and every one of us is responsible for our spiritual evolution and our healing. We're in a world that is in spiritual bondage, and so we're going to deal with disorders and diseases and cancers and viruses. It is a big part of the warfare. It's war, man. What they're doing to the air changes you. What they do to the food is changing you. What they're putting in the water is changing you. What they're putting in medications is changing you. This is why you're having disorders and depression and all kinds of diseases and issues. It is a Luciferian, fallen angelic military tactic. They want you diseased. They want you forgetting. They want you lost and confused. So bless you on your journey to healing, Holy One. Machiwa. And maybe it's in one of the advanced workshops. I just don't have a reference of, I've never heard of her talk about dissociative personality disorder. I never heard of Sirius C, Holy One. I've never seen it mentioned in the teachings either. Sirius A and Sirius B. Not a C or D or E or F or G or H or I. So, Stardust Goddess, Machiwa, Holy One. Quantum Beauty 7, woohoo! Oh yeah, new backdrop. I got a few coming, so... I made a few today, so I'll be having probably different ones next Saturday as well. Charlin in the house. Tonya in the house. Free White Dove, sister. Woohoo! Wait a second. Yeah, Free White Dove. Got the Rainbow Star, been a member for over a year. Machiwa, sister. Thank you so much, Holy One. Bear hug to you. Thank you to you. And Giannis as well, Star Sister. 1111. What's he doing right there? Looks like he's partying, man. Thank you so much for the support, for that exchange of energy, you guys. I can't do this without your help. So grateful to you guys and all my members and all of your regulars. Thank you for being here tonight, you guys. Let me start this live. Indigo Child, Holy Vato Locos. And I'm sure some of you are wondering why I make these pictures of indigos with blue skin. So let me explain that. Because you're going to get some rude people saying they don't have blue skin. Yes, they do. Not only do the teachings say it, but I have seen it. What did I say earlier? All indigos. Not some, not a few. All indigos are coming through SG6 on Sirius B. Sirius, however, people make fun of how I say it sometimes. I don't care. Sirius B, okay? So on that planet, hello, they got blue skin on that planet. Not only blue skin, I'm saying some of the races, because there's several different races on that planet, including Azarites, Maharaji, the blue humans, including Indigo Children, including other races. So the soul essence of the Sirius B being is blue skin. This is why I make pictures of Indigo Children with blue skin. And they look alien, not just human. That's the Maharaji, who look more like humans. Indigos look less like humans, but a mixture of human and alien. This is why I make my pictures like blue skinned, mostly human, but alien futures. It shows you it helps you connect. Visually, energetically, frequency-wise, you connect to where you're coming from, Holy Ones. They're coming from Sirius B, all indigos, including indigo type 1s and 2s and 3s. Even Jeshua, Jesus, came through. There's no exceptions. We all are coming through Sirius B, SG6. They have blue skin. I have blue skin there. You have blue skin there. You consider yourself indigo, you have blue skin in one of your lifetimes, or several of your lifetimes, however many lifetimes. We're talking about ETs. Alien beings, that's what we are. As star seeds, we're from the stars. Indigo Children, from the higher dimensions and densities and even beyond into the cosmic fields. Stop getting these ideas that, well, angels look like humans. No, they don't. But why do you keep making them look like humans just with wings on and back? Okay? When you're looking at an Indigo Children on Earth, their soul essence is alien, hybrid, human. They're not from Earth. They're from another universe, higher dimension, a totally different bloodline. They're higher than Azarites. Azarites are dimensions 1 through 12. What did I say about indigos, the lowest type indigos, 3s? They're in density 5. You could say indigos are the highest level consciousness on Earth. They're also called Ayani. And what do we know about Yani or Janus? They're ascended masters visiting Earth or visiting wherever they're sent. Ayani. Yani, of the Janus, coming from the Janus. Ayani, Indigo Children, also called Holy Grail line. Not the religion concept. About some stupid cup. Transmute that distortion. The Holy Grail is not some stupid cup. It's a bloodline from another world. A hybrid alien human bloodline called Indigo Children. Or called Ayani. Or called the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail. You are the Holy Grail. I'm the Holy Grail. My daughter, my granddaughter is the Holy Grail. My twin flame is the Holy Grail. You brothers and sisters identify as an indigo. You're coming from the same line as Jeshua, Jesus, Sananda Melchizedek, another Holy Grail line. It's a bloodline. It's a people. I'm a Hispanic, part Hispanic guy. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, your hair color or nothing. You're not the body. That's what I said at the beginning. You're the soul essence. Where is that soul essence coming from? Well, if it's an indigo, your soul essence just came from Sirius B. And they came from Sirius B from the higher dimensions before that. A lot of them are coming through the metagalactic core. When you go up to the highest levels, ascend to the highest levels, you exit through the metagalactic core. in the dimension 8. Now, when the fallen angels talk about the Holy Grail, they're usually talking about the Stargates. No, that's not what the Guardians refer to as the Holy Grail. We talk about the Indigo Children as being the Holy Grail line. So when you say Holy Grail line, DNA line, bloodline. What did I say earlier? The bad guys like to take our guardian terms and twist them into some stupid cup that has some lost meaning in some, and they also, there was actual King Arthur, right? But instead, they take all those King Arthur ideas too, and the round table ideas too, and put them into some fantasy mythology thing. They've done that, since they're doing that in movies too. They're brainwashing us. They're mind controlling us. So we get our ideas and our knowledge and twist it. I was just watching Conan the Barbarian because it's being shown on Amazon again, and man, as a kid, I love that movie. There's a couple lessons here. I love that movie because there were some symbols in there that as an indigo child, as a starseed, as a light worker or empath, you relate to, you remember these mythological times, medieval times, King Arthur times, Holy Grail lines. Something is, wow, I love this fantasy movie. All those 80s movies. Conan, like mostly I was always into science fiction, like Dune, but I want to say about Conan. There's a mixed thing going on there. Yeah, he's like a hero, sure, okay. But I didn't see these messages when I was a kid. Nobody did in the 80s. The New Age didn't start until a little bit later. So nobody knew these concepts or man, straight up from the beginning of the movie, they're chopping off heads, they're wiping out entire villages, murdering everybody, taking little Conan as a kid into bondage, into slavery, where he's taught to be, he's doing, like hardcore slavery work, and then he's taught to be this warrior that's gory blood murdering and killing. This is the start of the movie. And then it introduces this Doom, nice word, Doom character, this magician, this sorcerer, who has a sigil of two snakes facing each other. So as he cuts off his mother's head right in front of him, that image burns into his memory. He remembers the two snakes. What is the snake energy, the reptilian snake energy, which they spend a good half hour of this movie about this snake cult, a literal snake cult. Those are Inky Anunnaki. These are Luciferian frequencies being shown to us in the 80s as entertainment. Having no clue, no Christic frequency or awareness back then. You're just absorbing it. I mean, I could go through the whole plot. And they show the temple. It's a freaking cult, literal cult, where people are and of course the Doom character is in some temple at the top in the stairs, right? And they're all chanting to this God who supposedly lives for thousands of years and can supposedly shapeshift into a snake. He does in the movie, in the orgy scene. So you got these dark magicians and sorcerers. You got these extraterrestrial beings that are immortal. How are they immortal? Well, gee, in the orgy scene at the end, it's another factor, group sex. You're showing Conan coming in with his buddies, and they're going to save the day. But they show in the background, they're chopping up humans, man. They're putting in into a big bowl, a cauldron. They're stirring the cauldron, and you can see hands and heads in there. And they're serving it for the people to drink while they're all having orgy sex. Not to mention the temple. They're sacrificing the virgins. She falls into the snake pit. There's this gigantic snake. Obviously, it's meant for the virgins. You getting this? And there's crucifixion involved. Conan is crucified, and then to resurrect Conan, or to bring him back to normal health, they have to do a demonic ritual. So they got him all wrapped up in these garb, and they paint all these sigils and ancient languages, and the evil spirits come at night. Man, this is normal entertainment in the 80s and nowadays. I don't know where that came from, but as an indigo, as an indigo adult, I rewatched this old movie, and OMG, I see all the programming and this dark energy. Just like all you people who love to watch horror movies. There is something wrong there. You're absorbing the energy. You're absorbing the crucifixion. You're absorbing the blood ritual sacrifices. You're absorbing the black magic. It's becoming normalized in video games and comic books and movies. And now you're being mind controlled. You see, that was the first thing I said. It's a form of mind control. And you just laugh at that. When you have no idea what is frequency, you've never felt frequency in your body. You don't see frequency. You don't believe in these spirits. It's all a fun game to you. You see, this is what the Indigo Children are all about. We're about to expose these things that have been programmings throughout your whole entire life. Hasn't stopped, hasn't changed. If anything, it has gotten worse and worse and much, much, much worse. And you have no idea which presidents and presidents' wives and movie star actors are actually women and actually are men. It goes back to the Baphomet. It goes back to extraterrestrial aliens. It goes back to transhumanism. There goes my video. They don't like those algorithms. The algorithm doesn't like those hashtags, keywords. It's passion. You got to have a passion for this liberation. They're called the freedom teachings, holy ones. And as an indigo child, as the indigo identity, we incarnate here to help heal this, to expose. What does light do? You're a light worker. Some of you call yourselves light worker. What do? You're supposed to expose. And I ain't mentioning anything about Conan the Destroyer, or, there's a bunch of more black magic and more E.T. gods in there, and more. And all the other movies that you watched, that we've watched, have been programmed into us. And now you're just numb. You're just numb to death and murder and all this wicked shit. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was playing, people get into all this metaphysical stuff, all this new age stuff. It's hardcore programming by very, very intelligent fallen angelic races. They know what they're doing. They know how to brainwash. They're experts in it. And then you learn about the secret space program and how they're literally taking indigo children and turning them into super soldiers, turning them into super psychic beings working for the dark side in these programs. That's where some of our indigo children are going. Literally, man. They don't want normal humans. They're not kidnapping, abducting normal 3D people. They don't want your 3D kids. They want indigo children. They want hybrid human children that are guardians. They want starseed children. They could care less about some punk-ass kid who has no abilities, no connections. Right? Doesn't benefit them. So if they can't recruit you, they're going to disempower you literally, physically, psychologically, spiritually. So there's a warfare against indigo children. And, you know, some of you know some of this stuff, but because I've talked about it before, and it's also in the teachings. It's in the, we talk about how these books here, but there's hundreds of videos, you guys. I don't even know all the videos. I know so many of them. I certainly don't know all of them. But one of them is called The Architects of Light. And we'll be referring to the PDF soon. By Ashiana Dean and speaker 2, Michael Dean. And so this is part of the Indigo Children that was introduced in the teachings. It's a big part of it. Speaker 1, speaker 2 talk about how that indigo type 3s are a host matrix. The guardians themselves talk about, describe in great detail that this host matrix is specifically 2 souls in one body, meant specifically to heal a Nephilim Anunnaki soul essence. An 11 strands Luciferian wants to heal itself and agree to the guardian host matrix. So it wasn't going to be easy for the Nephilims. It's not going to be easy for you, Oraphim Indigo child, type 3. You have a Luciferian soul inside you with your guardian angelic soul. That's a crazy local life. Biologically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's a conflict. It's not easy. It's a challenge being an indigo type 3. Blessings to my daughter going through this contract. Many of you are indigo 3s or know people in your family, or maybe you're the parents of an indigo type 3. You guys, they're doing a huge service, but it's very difficult for them. And not all of them are successful. Many of these indigos are turning out and being born as ADD or ADHD, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. We were talking about disorders earlier, right? These are implanted in your DNA. It's not natural. It's not organic. There's something wrong. When you start experiencing diseases and viruses and cancers and disorders, psychologies, dark psychologies, those are all red flags that your race is in a distortion, your race is in a dark place, a spiritual bondage. The rulers of planet Earth are fallen angelics. This is not phantom Earth, okay? So let's get that distortion straight, because I hear people saying we're living in phantom Earth. No, we're not. Phantom Earth is in the phantom universe. Do you know the teachings? This is not phantom Earth. This is a distorted Earth. There's a big difference. Now, maybe some soul essences will die and then reincarnate in the phantom Earth, but this right now in the 3D particle matrix, not the phantom matrix, we're in the particle matrix. Know the difference. This is not phantom Earth, but this is a heavily distorted Earth falling. You can still ascend here. It's just hard. It's hard compared to before, especially when we're, even more influenced and manipulated and controlled in a stellar activation cycle, now in a stellar closing cycle. That means the stargates all opened during the stellar activation cycle. They opened, and now we're in this part where they're closing. They all didn't close yet. We still have 5 stargates that haven't closed, according to the timeline in Voyagers. And I even heard Ashana talk about it in Kathara. I've heard her say actually those original dates are actually sooner because of the distortions in the fields and all that. So you can expect those dates to be a little bit faster than what it says in the books. But you realize that there's stargates that are still open. This is why we're still having an awakening happening. Now, when those gates all closed, it doesn't mean you can't ascend. It just means it's much, much harder. And you better believe that the fallen angelics want to keep advancing the drama here. Just like they did already in parallel Earth. If you think about it, they probably want to do the same thing they did in parallel Earth, which is use a false Jesus Christ, kind of like this says in the Bible. They want to take the Bible's a programming thing. They want to make some of the Bible come true. They want to make it real. And this is exactly what they did. You will hear this in Voyagers too. Some of you won't believe me, so let's pull it up. Some of you will not believe me, so let's just look at it. Well, look at my diagram real quick, because I got the information from from Voyagers. So let me show you the diagram. Parallel Earth. It talks to you about what it is from a physics point of view, and then it tells you the history of it. In 2000, on parallel Earth, which is a little bit faster in timeline than us, 1992 for us, there was a major invasion by the Zeta reptilian and Greys alien races who took over and instituted one world order. They were successful. Just like they're trying to do here. What did I say? Most likely what they did here, they're going to try to do here. The fallen angelics' false second coming of Jesus drama had been successfully orchestrated. Hello, what do they call that in the secret space program? They call it Project Blue Book. A fake, false, illusion, holographic illusion, basically. They successfully did it in the parallel Earth system. ETs are very real in that world. And they are terrified of the ETs because they run the place. It is literally dire situation there for a lot of people under full ET martial law control. Many of them have dropped their bodies to get out of that so they don't get trapped. Rebels, patriots called the freedom fighters, who have not fallen under the mass mind control, also part of their takeover, and also part of the takeover was using HARP technologies. What are we doing now in 3D Earth? Particle Earth? Huh? You've heard of this stuff? No? But they used it in parallel Earth government, but even trying to they're trying to contact us here, the doppelganger selves here, to warn us. At this point, they're going into pole shift and it can't be stopped. This is exactly what the alien Luciferian intruder races want. Pole shift. And this is exactly why. Well, I didn't show you from the book. That's basically from the book. So you can look it up in the book and find it there yourself. This is what they want to do here. And this is why we have beings, high-level beings like Indigo Children coming here, incarnating. Holy Grail line, coming to the 3D Earth. 13th, 14th dimensional, 15th dimensional, or triadic, polaric, or ecadic level ascended masters. No, it's specifically a Kadic level. Sorry, let me correct myself. It's either dimension 13, 14, or 15, density 5 in the time matrix, or from the Kadic level. Maybe indigo type 2s are from the polaric level. I'm not sure. But they have around 36 strand DNA. Indigo type 4s are the spiritual badasses, the highest level, 48 strand. Now, I did say that they're the highest level beings, the Ayani are the highest level beings in our time matrix, that visit our time matrix, but there certainly are other beings in density, in dimensional matrix, who have 48 strands too. Not that many beings have 48 strands, but the Azarites are one of them. The Emerald Oraphim are another one. The Christos Avatar Anuhazi are another one. So there's a few races, just a handful, that have 48 strands of DNA. I believe even the Maharaji may have, some of them may have 48 strands. So, let me check and chat again, you guys. We got a few more donations. We got Manda 1111. Powerful energy in your name, right? Thank you so much, Holy One. Bless you for supporting this work. She said, thank you. I truly appreciate your light. And we appreciate you for being here with us, Holy One. Thank you for that donation. Bless you. Anuhazi, dude, I am this I am. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Know who you are. Anuhazi dude does. What's up, brother? Thank you for that exchange of energy, man. What's up? We got Jazzy Jazz. What's up, Jazzy Jazz? Yay! Made it to another live after so long. Lots of laugh. Anyone know about the supposed alien invasion? I'm guessing just more drama. Are you talking about from the news? From President Trump? From New Age? What did I just say earlier? They want Project Blue Book. Okay. Let's look what is it called? I know our Indigo sister, Carrie Cassidy, talks about this a lot. Maybe I said it wrong because this doesn't look like it's it. And it's pretty scary if they start talking about it. You know, because that's how their black magic system works. They show you it, what they want to do, and now the humans, all the 3D humans, are putting energy into it. They put energy into it because they talked about it. Now you're talking about it, now you're imagining it. It's freaking black magic power. They get you to think about it. They want you to see it and play it out in your mind. This is why we got movies like Independence Day, Part 1 and Part 2. So now you're thinking about aliens invading us. So I said it wrong. It's not Project Blue Book. It's Project Blue Beam. Blue Beam. Let me correct myself. They plan, or, the governments, the hidden elites, they plan to use advanced holographic projection technology and frequency-based mind control. I don't like to say keywords, but what do you think 9 and those two other numbers, 1 and the number after that, 1, was all about? Practicing and doing very well, right? Advanced holographic projection technology. OMG, I just realized Ashiana talks about this technology. It's either in the United Intruder Resistance video series or the One World Order series. She made a series called that. She talks about it from the Guardian point of view, not from the conspiracy theory point of view. Such as a second coming, like Jesus, like they did in Parallel Earth. I just read it to you. The arrival of saviors, or even a false alien invasion, whichever one. Manipulate humanity into accepting a one world religion, which eventually goes into a new one or order under centralized control. How it supposedly works: holograms in the sky, massive projections of religious figures, UFOs, or cosmic events using satellites. And some of you are not going to believe in this, but they have synthetic telepathy, broadcasting voices directly into people's heads using ELF, which is extremely low frequency. They're waves to mimic divine communication. Man, these concepts have been explained by whistleblowers. You don't have to believe. You can just scoff at it all you want. That just shows that you're not ready for it. But what conspiracy theories they're mostly conspiracy facts. They use this word to simply dismiss it. If you hear something being called a conspiracy theory, most humans are just going to dismiss it now, not take it seriously. Talk about a bunch of BS. You can be punked so easily and not look into it yourself. Fake alien invasion or rescue. It's not a rescue. A staged alien threat or savior scenario to unite humanity under global military government authority, which is a global crisis equals global control. You understand how that works? They create the false flag, so now they can create the solution for it, which is their always been their ultimate control. Their ultimate goal is to have the global control. Fear and awe would be used to justify surrendering freedoms for safety. Whistleblowers have talked about blue beam style technology absolutely exists. Now, Ashiana may not say it, the Guardians may not say it, but you can use your own Christic discernment. I say it's 100% exists. The SSP has holographic and frequency tech capable of creating mass illusions. The technology is already here, you guys. It's not in the works. The false flag alien invasion idea ties into what Werner von Braun allegedly warned about. A staged, not a real. So I'm answering your question, sister. It's not going to be a real one. It's going to be a false one. The false flag alien invasion idea, that Werner von Braun warned about, extraterrestrial threat used as the final card to justify militarization of space. Christic teachings would frame this as a metatronic manipulation, using false light spectacle to distract humanity from their innerchristos connection and sovereignty. To each your own. Some of you just can't wrap your mind around secret space program. It doesn't exist for you. This is what this is. This doesn't come from human governments, man. It doesn't come from 3D human technologies. This is coming from futuristic secret space programs that do exist, that have come out. Use your own freaking discernment. Do your own remote viewing. Look within your own soul and see if any of this is true. No one's going to prove it to you. You have to find out for yourself and do your own grassroots research and check and see what you think about it. But if you don't check, you just call it and dismiss it as conspiracy. Good luck in your journey. Just realize at the end of the day, this is coming from ETs, not from humans. Malevolent, Luciferian, and we're coming from reptilians, they're satanic. So Anunnaki, Luciferian, reptilian, satanic consciousness. It's part of the fallen angelic war against the angelic human race, which is us, but we just forgot about that. We don't remember that forbidden history. We're so distorted in our bodies, in our consciousness, our emotions, and our spirit. We just live in Alice in Wonderland. We just live in fantasy fairyland. We just live in love, light, and clueless. We're clueless. Most humans are freaking just simply clueless, man. And this is why we're successful in parallel Earth. This is why they were successful in Human Seeding 1. They murdered us in Human Seeding 1. They didn't just take us over. They actually eliminated us. They eliminated us in Human Seeding 2. What are they trying to do in Human Seeding 3? They're using the same thing, CERN. They're opening portals and to Phantom. Okay, for these motherships, for these demonic energies. They're taking control of stargates so they can have physical craft come in, physical, military. These beings are not schmucks. They kicked our asses. They punked us. You take them seriously. You don't just laugh at it and say, we won. New Age says we won. Light won. Don't worry about nothing. But you're going to have many different people at different levels of awareness. You just haven't reached it yet if you think this is all a joke. You're still got to awaken. You still got to get smacked around, pushed around, and maybe you'll have some tragedy in your life. Maybe you're going to have some horrible things happen in your life. Maybe after all that you will wake up. Or not. So let me show you about some of the indigo frequency from the Guardian teachings. What I said earlier, architects of light. So let me switch to that PDF. And this is exactly why I started doing secret space program videos. Because I know it's real. I've seen it in my own energies, in my own journey, in my own third eye. I've seen it. I'm not saying all those stories are true, but you better believe most of them are. we have colonized space, homies. You're only getting a small fraction of the understanding and realization of what we're really capable of, what we've already done. We're going throughout the galaxy already. Why do you think it's called the secret space program? All this drama that we're having on Earth is coming from the secret space program. Okay, so this is the Architects of Light. And we'll put in Indigo Children. What? I gotta spell it right, I guess. Mostly, it says indigos, indigo children, and some say just indigo child, so I'll click on indigo children. Who are the indigo children? Sorry, I marked it up already. Over the past decades, a new breed, it's in quotes because it's not really new, it's an old thing. But nowadays, it's considered a new breed of children who has caught the attention of the scientific communities. in the US, China, Mexico, Russia, and other countries. This is just the surface level references. You better believe the secret military and the secret governments know a lot more about these things, and that's why they're taking them into the secret space program. These children display unusual physical and psychological attributes that separate them from the norm, such as enhanced immunological systems. They got different DNA templates. Advanced genius or highly gifted intelligence, to more extraordinary abilities such as paranormal nature that most often do not hear about in the mainstream analysis. Yeah, other people talking about indigo children are not going to be talking about their psychic powers, because most of the people writing books about making videos about indigo children actually don't know any knowledge about the cosmic creation mechanics. They don't know these different levels of identity and densities and dimensions. They don't even know how many dimensions there are. They don't know the aliens, the indigos come from another planet. They don't know they have blue skin. They don't know they're part of the Holy Grail line. They don't know anything. They're just looking at it from a 3D point of view. This is why they're not going to talk about the paranormal aspect of indigos, because they don't know what the F they're talking about. The indigo description emerged through intuitive observation of the subtle body, your aura. They started noticing the aura of these kids, you guys, in which a greater concentration of the color blue, or you could actually say indigo wave spectra, is the dominant feature. Wow, check out these kids. Some of them got blue auras. So there's been talks about people like Lee Carroll who have made books about indigo children. And I think Ashiana mentions them, but they still don't have the whole story. Though indigos hold great potentials in evolutionary, modeling evolutionary advancement, there's also a dark side. And that's what I was mentioning earlier about the indigo type 3s to the indigo story, in that they frequently display psychological behaviors associated with attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and as some believe, with violence. Back in the days, well, it was mostly back in the days we had those schoolyard slayings, children killing other children, even teachers and others. Well, this is Ashiana telling you straight up, some of those were indigos doing those murders. Within the psychological paradigm, indigos are most often treated with the symptom suppression therapy. That's what I was telling you about. They send you to a shrink and they get you on some pharmaceuticals. And she mentions it right here. Pharmaceuticals such as Ritalin and they used to have something called Silert, are used to control disruptive behaviors. And in quotes here, this issue of drug therapy for indigos will be discussed later. But yeah, there is a dark side to the indigo type 3s. Who are the indigo children? To answer this, the actual comes, you're not going to understand it unless you look at their spiritual nature. Let me remove this so I can. You have to look at the psychic, the paranormal nature, the spiritual nature, you guys, which most people are not covering. These teachings cover in great detail. For the indigo distinction within the intrinsic spiritual structure, orientation, and origins of their consciousness, that's where you're going to find out understand what indigos are. The indigos are indeed a new breed of children because they represent a new breed of consciousness on earth, now entering incarnation within the times. The indigos are in truth representatives of a very old breed of consciousness, once prevalent on earth, or in their reemergence today. They serve as harbingers of our race evolution And the wayshores, this is why I keep calling them wayshores and trailblazers, because they're the wayshores of things to come. I'm not going to read all of this, don't worry. I'm just going to mention doing this one paragraph. As our race evolution moves closer to its intended hidden destination. Furthermore, indigos are here by design and intention. Their coming is not of the result of some accident or haphazard quirk of an undirected evolution. They are here because they were asked to come, and they have come to fulfill their part, which is many of you guys, brothers and sisters, you're part of a much grander evolutionary mission. If we are to understand the truth of the Indigo Children, we must first look deeply into the hidden nature of ourselves and into the core of our race evolution. For it is within this framework of expanded perspective that the identity of indigos can be known. Last sentence here. As we come to better know ourselves, well, then we will come to understand the indigos and what their existence implies for the transformation of our race. So, religious people quote Bible scripture. I will quote Emerald Order. This is the framework of Indigo Children, you guys. They're not new. Even though 3D humans are saying, oh, this is a new breed of consciousness. No, it's not. It's ancient. Indigo type 2s and 3s come beyond physical form, beyond dimensionalization, outside of time space. We talk about old things in the past or the future. There is no time in past and future. They're outside of that illusion. They're in the eternal collectives of consciousness. But they wanted to come here and serve. They're kind of like special forces of Green Berets or Navy SEALs or whatever coming in to do special missions. You got an idea of what we're doing here. If we represent the race evolution, because with this higher DNA on Earth, when it's present on Earth, and there's millions of us, that goes into the potential for all humans. So we're part of the you would say spiritual evolution. Without the presence of indigos, it would be much more difficult. You would just be relying on the earth seed's potential and the star seed potential. The star seeds are a lot smaller in DNA consciousness than the Indigo Children. And so there's a big difference. And so you would call the indigos, the Ayani, as the elder race. Remember, this is not a space of ego. This is simply talking about the conscious potential of these beings and what they're meant to do. Now, the Indigo Type 2s, the Indigo Type 3s are about the host matrix to help heal the Nephilim soul essence, to help the 11-strand Nephilim reclaim its 12-strand Christos ray. Because when the Anunnaki Nephilim has a Christos ray, they can ascend. Otherwise, they're stuck in the phantom earth or phantom matrix, which is called the lake of fire, the Hades, hell, by religious people. That's the only way they can go beyond the 11th dimension. Otherwise, they're stuck and will always be stuck in 11D or lower, unless they do a host matrix. This is why some of these beings change. They don't want to stay down there in those horrible freaking chaos levels. Hardcore chaos levels. You can imagine, they do horrible stuff here, but can you imagine what they do down in hell, in Phantom, where they're all like freaking prisoners, like gangsters, in gangs in prison. Well, they're gangs in Phantom. That's where gang consciousness is. It's dark, freaking evil energy that rapes and murders and does horrible things, right? So where does that consciousness come from? Remember the hybrids, beings that are fallen angelic? Part human, part fallen angelic? Part Nephilim, part Anunnaki, part reptilian, whatever. These are dark freaking phantom beings. And so they want that present here so it can affect the human race. And it is. They're doing a good job. Now people are speaking it and acting like it. Now we got hatred here. Now we got jealousy here. Now we got murder here, sacrifice here. We got dark, dark stuff here because of these dark, dark beings coming here from the phantom levels. Those are conscious beings that are anti-God, also called anti-Christos. They're anti-earth. They're anti-human. They're basically anti-life. They feed off of life. That's anti-life. They impersonate God, so you worship them, the false ET gods and religions, instead of the real. We're not meant to worship anything, but they're trying to replace it, put you in spiritual bondage. Now you're in crucifixion. Now you're in blood rituals. You consume blood, whether it's symbolic in your religious communion or not. Doesn't matter if it's symbolic. It's all about blood, man. It's all about death. And so the guardians, the indigos, the angelic humans, we're transmuting that. We're transmuting this dark energy. We need indigos here. We need you, brothers and sisters, to awaken to your identity as an indigo. Not as a spiritual snob either. Oh, I'm better than you. I'm an indigo. I'm a holy grail. What are you? You ain't jack shit compared to me, right? You transmute those kind of people out of your life, out of our feeds, out of our friends list. We block those kind of people. Those people aren't Christic. They're not spiritual. They're doing a huge disservice. They haven't gotten it yet. They're still healing. They're still growing up. So you can say, hey, go away and come back when you've healed. Come back, brother and sister. We'll be waiting here for you. Machiwa. Fato locos. Give me 5 indigos. Yeah, baby. What's up? Holy Grail line. Chikas. We got Inla 10. Woohoo! Thank you, brother. Much love to all, he says. That's so awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting this work. Syrian Star Princess. Yee-hee! As a kiddo comic books and huge sci-fi fan, I'm also was collecting comic books. We got that from my dad. Me and my brother, mostly me and my brother, we were collecting all kinds of comic books. Some of them are probably worth money. I don't have mine anymore because my house burned down, but my brother still has some, I think. I'll have to ask him when I meet him, see him again. She also wrote, looks different now. I also had dissociative identity disorder, but spontaneously integrated after my awakening. To the other brother who was talking about that, there's a testimony for you, Holy One, right there. And that's what I mentioned. You want to go into the teachings, you want to do this cleansing, you want to do this healing, and then you don't, because your psychologist is not going to actually help. Because pharmaceuticals are not going to actually help. Do you guys understand that medicine, I can say Western medicine, but most medicine in the world is not meant to heal you. Those are billions. Some would say trillion-dollar industries. They want you to keep on being relied on medicine and pharmaceuticals, not healed. If they healed, how can you be a customer? How can they make money if you're healed and cured? This is why the word cured is even illegal. You're not allowed to say something can cure you. Did you know that? Look it up. Fact check me. It's an FDA thing. Federal Drug Administering your asses. You can't say something cures you. And when someone does come out with a cure, if someone does come out with free energy system, they're murdered. You know, I'm not supposed to be really talking about these conspiracy theories, so I'll just plant seeds and you can do your own research. It's not a coincidence that they end up being murdered, you guys. Or any of these scientists who find out some of the secrets in organic chemistry. Murdered. What? Is this a coincidence? What's going on? Accidental deaths, suicides, what? You're not allowed. That's dangerous territory. If you come out with an invention that cures you or come out with something that creates free energy, you're dead. You're going to be dead. You better shut up. You're going to be threatened. That's going against the dark government and dark militaries. I can't say too many keywords. I'm not going to say too many keywords. But some of them call them the cabal. Thank you, Syrian Star Princess. Bless you, Holy One. Oh, your internet is acting up? So I have to listen on my phone. At least you're here on the phone. Bless you, sister. Thank you, Syrian Star Princess. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. What's up? Handpan? Okay. Let me see. But did you highlight it for me? Please. I don't see you highlighting it. Nikki B in the house. What's up, Holy One? I see down in it highlighted. Oh, she put star in Simp. Oh, that was for the donation. I'm still looking for your highlighted comment. I don't see it. Yeah, please, you guys, if you have a direct question, please highlight it by tagging Christos Avatar TV. Don't forget the TV part, because it won't work unless you put Christos Avatar TV. Yeah, I don't see it, but you can rewrite it and I'll see it. Spiritual Ascension, woohoo! And he left a message here. Spiritual Ascension wrote, "Cheers to the Indigos and your mission on here on Earth. I am also Indigo Starseed who helps when I find time to." Bless you, Spiritual Ascension. Yes, and that's what this is about. And nowadays, you know, we find each other. We found our family. And we're awakening together. We're sharing resources and, you know, links to the teachings, links to videos. We're trying to be helpful. We're trying to service each other, help each other. You know, this is how really guardians roll. It's a reverent respect for one another. It's an omni love for all life. And that's what the Indigo Children are bringing. This is the memory that we're bringing. It's very sacred, you guys. And throughout my journey, it was a matter of expanding. And I'm not done expanding. But I went from doubt into a believer, into a knowing, a cognizance. So I went through a truth quest, and it led me to the teachings. It led me to the physics of it, the spirituality and the techniques of it. And I found those changes. I found those confirmations. So what I didn't believe in before, I had literal cognition of it later. So some of you are in that doubting stage. You guys, don't give up. Continue to study and make it a commitment. Make it an intention. Say, I will understand these teachings, specifically call them out. I will know Kathara. I will understand how to do my Maharic seal. I will understand what my mission and purpose is. I will understand what starseed I am. I will understand if I'm an indigo child or not. Put intention. Start working with spelling. Create what you visualize and speak what you want to become. It's a technology that you need to remind yourself to keep on doing in your lifestyle. There's all kinds of people practicing Wicca and magic's gold dawn systems. That's not the way we roll. You cast spells with your intention, with your manifestation. You make thoughts become reality. That is your magic, holy ones. You don't need no altar for that. You don't need no candles for that. You don't need no freaking spells, like a black book, a spell book. If anything, you can sing a song. Toning, Christic toning. Know what that even is. Your voice can have true power and healing effects, like a radius of effect to anyone who can hear your sound toning. You better believe the ancient guardians would walk the ley lines. They knew how to do this group energies. They knew how to do these mass healings, grid work healings too. We need to remember how to do that again. We need to start doing those healings again. We need to know this science. This is a powerful guardian science, you guys. A Christic, sourced from God sourced from the guardian angelic nations, from the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, from the Magi Grail Line councils, and this is something that's coming from light, true light, not false light. And so we're meant to literally be masters of energy, masters of consciousness. Especially if you're calling yourself an indigo. Well, hell, baby. Act like an indigo. Live like an indigo child, Grail line. It doesn't have to be in social media either. You can be doing your work behind the scenes. You don't care about credit. You know what's your mission. You start to get an idea of what your abilities are, what your codes are, what you can be doing in your journey here. Make a difference. Make that your intention. I'm going to take this knowledge and identity and frequency and do something with it. Whatever you call healing, whatever you call awakening, well, you got your own perspective. You got a unique indigo child perspective from your lineage, your sacred lineage as a incarnated human, your indigo lineage, your connection to your soul, your angelic level, your archangelic level, your Christos avatar level, your Rishi level. These are literal identities of yourself, you guys. We don't just sit here and talk about these things for nothing. You are all these levels. Simultaneous incarnated consciousness. Learn to know how to integrate that, how to utilize that, how to move Kundalini, how to move Maharata frequency, how to move Kirashe frequency, how to access Kundalini energy, how to know all these levels and see them, literally see, feel, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. This isn't just fairy tale and not just meant for certain people. You know, all humans have that potential inside of them, but it all comes down to your personal, commitment, to your discipline, to your work, to literally doing the work. So my question to you, Indigo Children out there, have you done some work this week? Do you plan on doing something in these teachings or in your lifestyle, improving yourself, learning some songs, singing songs, watching Ashiana Emerald MCEO videos? How many Ashiana videos have you watched completely? Well, what are you doing? I'm a teacher. She's the master teacher, though. You should be watching the Emerald Order MCEO videos. You should be taking notes of these videos. You should be understanding these teachings and actually doing something with them in your life. This is an Indigo Child teachings, man. Earth seeds can benefit too, but this is mostly coming for Indigo's children. These teachings. Are you studying these teachings? Have you even read these teachings? Have you downloaded or watched any of the videos? What are you doing? Some of you said, yeah, I did. So I encourage you guys to actually become knowledgeable. Some of you know more than I do. But I'm here reaching the beginners. I'm here. This is the boot camp. This is you getting ready for the hardcore stuff. I'm introducing you the basics so you get familiar with it, so it's not so daunting when you hear the master teacher talking. Because it's progressive teachings, you guys. You know what that means? That means she's not going to cater to beginners in the middle or the end. You want to study the beginner stuff and then study the advanced stuff. There is an order to this. You know, I get a shout out to the group called Christic Symbiosis. They do a great job of showing the beginners of the steps that you could take as a beginner. You don't know nothing. Well, there is a curriculum. Check it out. These videos are for free. There's no freaking paywall. You have no excuses. So I encourage you guys to watch videos, learn the content. You should have files of notes, handwritten notes or computer notes. I have tons of computer notes. I too watch these teachings. I too am learning. I am too a student of Ashiana's older work, not the new work, the older work, and the Emerald Order teachings. That's what these are. That's what she's teaching, the Emerald Order teachings. And it's not just a belief system. It's a knowing. It's a confirmation. Well, it changes you. You reclaim your true potential, and you start saying, whoa, dude, eventually you won't need the books or the teachings to remind you. It will just be it'll just be streaming out of your inner Christos, your vertical connection to Source God, and not to some ET God, not to some archangel, not to some New Age BS, you guys. It's going to be coming from yourself, no middleman, to God, to the true God. You got people talking about God, but they're talking about ET gods, not the real God. So when you get in a conversation, people talking about God, most of the time people mention God are talking about alien gods, not the real source God. Thank you for those hearts, whoever's doing that. Bless you, Holy One. Indigos aren't worshiping no ET gods. We're not worshiping anything. We're connecting ourselves through the spiritual science, man. This is a spiritual science. It's tangible. Source God is tangible. The soul is tangible. They actually there's a series teaching here called the tangible structures of the soul. And that's excellent for beginners. So look it up and download it and start learning today. What? Look, I'll show you on the screen. Tangible structure of the soul. Let me see. Aquion, files. Because being an indigo isn't just freaking theory or philosophy. It's actual work, man. What are you doing with it? What do you know? What meditation are you practicing? What technique are you running? You can't answer it. That means you need to start jumping into it. KS text. And I always encourage you guys to have your own library of these teachings. I have probably 100 different PDFs. And once again, I mentioned Christic Symbiosis. They're an excellent source for these PDFs. Or you can just do your generic searches on Google or in Telegram. There's a lot of people sharing these teachings on Telegram. Where is this? Tangible structures, text, tangible structure of the soul. This is a good beginner's PDF. Anybody with a brain can go to Google and search for this and find it and download it. Or ask one of us to share it. See, this is an old PDF. You can find a better PDF than this. Like this is like old school PDFs, but still, I'm trying to find. It's even hard to scroll through this one. So you guys will want to find your own better version of this. I have like an old school version of it, I guess. Yeah, I have to wait for it to load and shit. But it's going to teach you basic stuff at the very beginning kind of stuff, including, the particle physics, morphogenetic field, quantic science. You're going to learn about that stuff. You're going to learn about it's not loading. Okay. The chakra system. You'll get these diagrams and charts. You guys should know this stuff. This is beginner stuff now. You need to be already caught up to the advanced stuff like Cathara. I mean, look at this stuff. You're going to learn about. You're not going to learn this stuff in New Age, man. The 8 Huva bodies. The New Age doesn't even talk about Huva bodies. Now, these aren't your auric field. These are your Huva bodies. You see, this is old school. It's kind of blurry. You're going to want to find a better copy than this because it just depends on who made the PDF. This is not a good PDF. I still want to show you what's kind of in here. It shows you the interwoven mind, body, spirit system. Talks about your DNA, 12 DNA strands, silicate matrix. Talks about the 15 chakras. Man, this is the ascension knowledge. The only true ascension knowledge on planet Earth coming from the Emerald Order Guardians. This is kind of difficult, but you guys are getting the gist, so. You have no excuses, you guys. How long have you been watching me? Right? How long have you been downloading these things? Did you read one paragraph or a chapter? So let's get to it, Indigos. This is part of what our purpose of being here. We're meant to grow and expand, literally become masters of consciousness, masters of energy. No excuses. This is 2025. Do something. Get your ass off your 3D self and start becoming a priest again. I call it like a priest. You can call it whatever you want. A healer. A light worker. An indigo child. A starseed. Start raising the bar, man. Make some change in your life, homie. Have a commitment. Be serious in this stuff. No more games. Bless all of you who are working hard to better yourself. Because planet Earth needs it. The more and more of us who awaken, that concept of collateral damage. Well, this is not damage. This is collateral positive influence. It has to do with the race morphogenetic field. We're connected to it. Our personal morphogenetic crystal body, morphogenetic field, is connected to the planet's crystal body. So all the human crystal bodies are affecting the planetary crystal body. You see how that works? So the Indigo Children crystal bodies here, this is how it affects and makes it available to the other humans. See, if you don't even know what a morphogenetic field or crystal body is, once again, what are you doing? No excuses, homie. Start studying, start downloading. You should have a library of these teachings on your own computer or laptop or whatever, flash drive or whatever. And so there's a lifetime of work in these advanced teachings. It might take you a long time to learn all the advanced stuff. The most important thing is to get familiar with the Voyagers books. You want to hurry up and get to Cathara's teaching. Get into the Dance for Life, the Dance for Joy, the Dance for Love teachings. These are all part of the MCEO, Emerald Order Freedom teachings. And then you get into the really advanced stuff called sliders. Sliders 1, sliders 2, sliders 3, example. If you guys finish at least that kind of stuff, you can keep on going and keep on going. But you would be getting your strands of DNA to ascend, at least. But there's so much more. There's so much more. That's just kindergarten stuff. There's so much potential. When you go on a trip or an altered state of consciousness and you see this higher level of yourself, did you know you can bring some of that to the 3D world through these teachings? This is truly what an indigo is doing. The Indigo Manual. These teachings are the Indigo Manual, homie. Not religion manuals and Bibles and transcripts. Not New Age divination systems. Scrying systems. Birth chart systems. Tarot card systems. That is not indigo systems. Our systems is freaking advanced Templar, baby. Advanced mechanics. Learning about your Hoover bodies. Learning about your fire letters. Learning about your, this is another world compared to what's out there. Learn about your inner God, your inner source, inner Christos. Awaken it, blossom it. If your body is not healed, if you don't have perfect health yet, if you don't have this amazing extrasensory psychic powers yet, if you can't connect to star beings and Guardian Alliance and your higher consciousness, you still have a lot to do then, right? If you're not living in natural, organic, omni-love, you don't have universal, unified consciousness or Christ consciousness, you still have more to learn, holy ones. It's not easy. We're not perfect down here. But we're striving to clear the distortion, clear the miasms, they call it, clear the karma, clear the distortion in our body, our mind, our emotions, our spirit. Keep on mastering yourself. Keep on improving yourself, Indigo homies. Bless you on your journey. We have a support system. Maybe the official Speaker 1, Speaker 2, Speaker 3 split. But there's still Indigo Children here. There's still angelic humans here awakening. It doesn't go on pause. It doesn't stop. We pick it up and carry it. We carry it through. We do our missions. We do the grid work. We teach the techniques and share it with other people until we see a change in ourselves and in our world. You know, we would love all humans to do this, but they're not, but some will. But you need to be awakening yourself so you can awaken others in your own way. This is my way. I do social media. Maybe you do it a different way in the world, somehow, some way, in your own soul journey. You got your higher selves, I got my higher selves. And hopefully we're going to collaborate and co-create together. Make a difference. You know, you didn't come here from the stars, from higher dimensions for nothing, just to observe. I call out that BS. Some people say that. I just come to observe. Bullshit. Excuse my French. You ain't come here to sit here and watch, homie. You don't come from the 7th dimension or whatever, 6th dimension, just to come here and observe. That's New Age garbage. Get out of the field. You came here to make a difference, to bring your Christic imprint, your Christ consciousness, stand in the crystal body of Earth and make a difference. You're making a difference. We're making a difference. Even if the official Ashiana Dean, Michael Dean, Marianne Calloway, even if they split, there's still others, powerful homies, still doing the work. We're not stopping. Even if there's a world war or there's some Project Bluebeam, we're still going to be freaking doing our work, man. It doesn't go into pause. We don't go into hiding. We're not like living in our life in fear. You don't allow fear in your field. Stand in your conviction, Indigo child. You know you have protection? Claim it. Do it. Shield up. Practice toning. That's at the beginning of Kathara. They're teaching you about light, sound, symbol codes, and the base codes of matter. And you're going to become an expert at it. And it doesn't all have to be in the teachings. You can explore and create new ideas, new inventions, new energy systems, new spiritual techniques. You're connected to those levels. You can bring it down here. Manifest it here, homies. That's what we're about. That's how Guardians roll. Yeah, we got a playbook. We got some examples. But think outside the box too. Right? You're coming from a certain family line, a certain ET race and planet. I'm coming from my own family, race, and planet. We all have something to contribute. We need each and every one of you indigos, man. Machiwa. Can you feel it? Yeah, baby. And you all have incentive to be with your twin flame. And if you can't be with your twin flame, then you still can make a difference. You are making a difference. You're here. Shada ure akumtan. Shada ure akumtan. Shada ure akumtan. Sing your songs, run your frequency, learn the techniques, feel the difference, rise. Awaken, Indigo homies. You truly are a high-level Templar. You truly are a master guardian. Reclaim it, own it, stand in your convictions. Don't allow phantom consciousness to rule this world. We won't allow it in our fields. We won't allow it, phantom consciousness, in our relationships. Dismiss all narcissists in your life, all psychopaths, all dark empaths. Don't allow phantom in your conversations, in your social media, in your messaging and communications. Guardians guard. Light exposes darkness. We're peaceful. We do this with love and higher consciousness. This is our creed. We dismiss and transmute false creeds and false ET gods. We transmute Archangel Michael. We transmute the Galactic Federation. We transmute Inky, Marduk, Enlil. We transmute Thoth. We transmute all of these false New Age practices. We bring in the Christ, the real Christos. We align ourselves with Source God, not service to self, not demonizing or putting down the divine feminine. We dismiss patriarchies and matriarchies. We align with our twin flame. You are divine. You are sacred. Act like it. Think like it. Be it. Omni love, baby. That's the truth. That's the light. That's the way. Shine, you light, because the world needs it. We are the shield. We are the Christos. Know it. Be it. I love you. Machiwa to all of you. Blessings to all of you. Yeah, baby. What's up? Indigo Wizard, you said it. Love that power, brother. Keep speaking that power, homie. Thank you so much for supporting this work, Indigo Wizard. Thank you for your service to others here at Christos Avatar. What's up? Mandela 1111. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. What's up? Giannis, you said, sweetheart, I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. And you guys, just saying that is powerful. That's a statement of your mind, of your spirit, of your energy, and knowing it. Just know it. Just stand in that conviction, baby. You are a frequency, a resonance. And so we just remember it and reclaim it and run it. We all have some room. We all have some room for improvement. Okay, so this is a journey, a progressive journey of awakening. And these teachings are beautiful, man. They're powerful. They're life-changing. And you will confirm it as truth. You don't, the teachers and the materials aren't proving it. You prove it within yourself. You get your own confirmation. You see your own higher consciousness. And one of those higher levels is the indigo child level, the indigo identity. Some of you, a lot of you here who are connecting to these teachings, you'll even hear Ashana say it herself. If you're connecting to these teachings, most likely you are an indigo child. And I will put a poll and ask you guys. You can tell the truth. You don't have to. No one's going to know your answer. But I'm going to ask, do you believe you're an indigo child? Wait. And write it in the comments too, because we like to have that dialogue for other people to read for yourself. Do you believe you are an indigo child? Whatever, if it's indigo 1, 2, or 3. Those are all indigo children. I'll just put indigo, because some people get thrown off by the child part. You don't have to be a child. Do you believe you're an indigo? Yes or no, or I'm not sure yet. And that's okay if you're not sure, or if you don't think so. Maybe some of you don't want to be an indigo for whatever reason. And maybe you really are figuring it out still, and that's okay. Stardust Goddess says she's the indigo top 1. What's up, homie? Steve says he's an indigo Ray. What's up, brother? We got 78% so far say yes. You guys, we're getting close to the end. I just want to, I have to say this at least once live. You guys, please support this work. You can offer a donation here. There's a $sign. Just click on that. Support your brother Anuhazi. You can also support this work by becoming a member. And if you're a member, you get access to our Discord chat server. You just have to contact me by direct message for the link. You can also support this work by visiting my Etsy shop, purchasing one of the crystals or one of my artworks. And I also sell the Terahertz Wand. It's kind of like one of those, like if you buy them, you can sell them too. But this is $420, but this has been a game changer for me. I believe it saved me from getting a disease. I felt the difference when I used it. I feel the difference when I use it. And so this is called the Terahertz Wand. You guys, if you buy this, please buy one from me. And I put the link below. It's actually $420. If it says $400, that's the wrong price, and I will have to pay that extra $20. So please let me know if there's still a problem in the shopping cart. There shouldn't be a problem. But these are $420, but it's worth it because I bought 3 of them. And I gave one to my sister and one to my mom, and it works. I wouldn't be selling something if it didn't work, and it truly works. It's an energy device. It goes through your body. I am one of those people who won't go to a doctor. You don't need to go to get pharmaceuticals. We can learn how to heal ourselves. Even with our hands, we'll one day be able to heal yourself, whatever you have. So thank you guys for supporting this work. I can't do this without you. This is how I do it full time. And I do need an extra help because I am going to Sedona, and that's expensive for me. I'm still going to make it, but it would help if you guys were, if anyone's willing to help out there, because it's a whole week, and the biggest cost is the hotel, right? So thank you guys so much for hanging with us tonight. Hopefully you learned a little bit about Indigo Children. And you can always check out the Architects of Light PDF and learn more, because it's dense. It can be very hard to understand if you're new to it. So I encourage you to go at your own pace. Thank you, Indigo Wizard homie. What's up, brother? And 82% of you believe you're indigo. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Indigo homies? Let me see. 6% say no, but there's 12% of you say you're not sure yet. And that's perfectly fine, you guys. We're all on our own awareness level, and there is no comparison. We're simply just trying to help each other, help other people who are coming along, newcomers coming along, and whatever you resonate with. Most of you are learning that, yeah, I'm part of God's sovereign free. There is no such thing as an angry God. That's a lie. We learn about what really is source God. And notice that these teachings are about empowering you. And other teachings are about making you disempowered, making you disconnected from God. Religion tells you you're disconnected from God unless you accept the covenant, the blood ritual sacrifice covenant of a murdered, sacrificed Messiah. You don't need a Messiah or a murder or a sacrifice to be connected to God. You were always connected to God. Whether you're bad or good or whatever, you can't be disconnected from the unified field. It's a physics thing. That's explained in these teachings. Remember, you are part of God. No matter how bad people have made you feel about yourself, no matter what horrible things people called you, understand that the world is in distortion. The world is in spiritual bondage, not from religion context, but from an ET, a multidimensional point of view, from a source God point of view. So, there's another donation here. Anuhazi, dude! Woohoo! What's up? Peace to you, brother. Much respect, man. Thank you so much. It's so happy to see you guys here. Like regulars and people who have been members for 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? Thank you so much, brother Anuhazi, dude. Yeah, what's up? Yeah. Helena, hello, Star Sister. Thank you for this transmission. Matchup, Brostar, Ninja, Warrior of Light. You said it, Helena. Woohoo! I love to see you guys in your when you speak the Anuhazi language or when you speak the concepts of the teachings. It's so beautiful to see everyone, really getting it. Even if we don't understand all of it, we're still awakening, and we're not broken, okay? We're remembering who we truly are. And all those old things the values we used to have, we're transmuting it and reclaiming our true brilliant self. I love you too, Lady Tracy Ann. Bless you, sister. Woohoo! You said it, Nikki B, where more people are seeing the distortions for what they are. That's because of this true system of transformation, man. Handpan, we're powerful energy battery, literally. We are our own God pineal gland in the temples. What's up? Mandela, needed to hear this. Blessings to you, Mandela, 1111. You are powerful. You are God's sovereign free. You are connected to Source God. Bless you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are Holy One. This is why I call you guys Holy Ones. Bless you, Holy Ones. Seal Beyond Gordon. Are you calling me Unk? I'm more than certain I am an indigo baby straight from the 90s, just out of the back of my encounters, which has been more than life lessons along with eye-opening. Bless you in your journey, Holy One. You'll see a lot of us going through this awakening. It's not called awakening for nothing. We're actually activating our DNA template. It's being helped and assisted by the Stargate opening, Stargate closing cycle. That's the Earth's star chakras, the Earth's Templar, and that makes it easier for humans. But everyone has their own responsibility for their own spiritual evolution. So many people are trying to be given enlightenment, but you have to gain it yourself. Study, learn, understand. Go through this learning. It's like a learning curve, right? But it's personal commitment, personal validation. No one else's validation, your own. Finding your own higher self, opening these chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, not from New Age techniques, from the Guardian techniques that teach you triadic phase currents. And they teach you more than the 7 chakra system. This is BS system. This is the New Age system, 7. What the F is 7s? Not 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 7s. There's more than 7. That's not the Guardian number. There's 12 chakra, or the Matrix has 15 chakra. When you say only 7, you're chopping off half of your consciousness, which includes the Christos. You're capping off the Christos, man. Only going to the crown? What's that? That's a limitation. That's a disempowerment. That's a lower identity. Do you know what 7 is? It's a Metatronic number. They created the 7 chakra system. Why? Because what's in the phantom? They created false immortal bodies. They're temporary. They're temporary immortal bodies. 7D. 7s. That's not our system. We don't use 7s. This is why I highly suspect Lionsgate BS, New Age, new moon systems, what the shit systems. Okay? These are all traps, pitfalls. These are all entangling you, pulling you into some Luciferian satanic teaching, not the true Guardian teaching. When I talk about the 7s, that's the Metatronic death system where they created these false 7D system. They're temporary immortal bodies because they become immortal by siphoning life force, bringing in the life force of other entities, bringing in the life force from planets, siphoning planetary energy. This is dark, Luciferian, fallen angelic, Metatronic. And so we're bringing in 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, baby. We're bringing in not 7 chakras. What? What's that? We're bringing in 15. The Christos ray is 12. Get your entire Templar, baby, not half of it. The crown is half of your consciousness. This is the 8th chakra, the gold chakra. This is the 9th chakra, the silver chakra. The one above your head, 6 inches above your head, is the 10th chakra, dark blue. The one that's 1.5 feet above your head is the 11th chakra, dark silver. Not regular silver, a darker silver. This one 6 inches below your feet is the Christ ray. The 12th chakra, the Christos. The 13th chakra is in the middle of the core of planet Earth, the round spherical Earth. No flat Earth BS in the Guardian teachings. There are so many false science systems and so many false spiritual light systems. Intentionally. So that is pale turquoise. The 13th chakra. The one that's 3 feet above your head, the 14th chakra, is pale gold, pale yellow. And finally, the 15th chakra, which is way out in outer space, huge chakra, that one is pale magenta. And you want to just cap yourself at the crown. What the F? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, gold, silver, dark blue, dark silver, pure white, pale turquoise, pale yellow, pale magenta. What's up, homie? Welcome to your true potential. not some capped, severed, disembodied, false light teaching system. That's what Buddhism is bringing you. That's what Hinduism is bringing you. That's what false light systems are bringing you. That's BS. That ain't no guardian teaching. They can help you in some things, but they're certainly going to cut you short, baby. Let me ask you something. Do you want to be cut short? Yes or no? Or do you want the full enchilada, baby? You want the full spiritual crystal body? Because this is not the freaking crystal body. The crystal body is all the chakras, baby. All the Sutta. It's called a Merkabah field. Star tetrahedron. There's more than 7, homies. Learn your true teachings. Learn your true spiritual anatomy. Machiwa. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for spending part of your Tuesday with us. What's up? I'll be here on Saturday. So I'll see you guys. Some of you will come on Saturday. And look out for my 2025 diagram. I've improved it. It's better now. There's more frequency in this diagram now. So stay tuned for that. By next Saturday, I'll probably do a whole video on it, just so you guys can see what it's all about. So, which is going to talk about the multiverse. It's going to talk about the 5 universes. It's going to talk about the 15 dimensions, not 7 dimensions. 7 is the phantom Earths, baby. So thank you for being here and your true potential. Welcome, Indigo Children, to your awakening. Ascension. Machiwa. You are the trailblazers. You are the wayshowers. Let's do this together. Team Indigo, baby. What's up? Machiwa. I am Christos. 12D. I am Christos. I am Christos. Omedai patuma, Omedai patuma, patuma edeta ekumna. Omedai patuma, Omedai patuma. You speed up each one. Umedai patuma, patuma edeta ekumna. Umedai patuma, tretila dermna, tretila dermna, derma hekemta ekumna. Umedai patuma, Umedai patuma, Umedai patuma, patuma hedeta hekumna. Umedai patuma, tretila dermna, tretila dermna, derma hekenta hekumna. Umedai patuma. That's a song of Lyra. Machiwa, hold that Christ frequency, holy wands. I'll see you soon. Blessings to all of you. Machi, Makai, Masu, Hache. Gratitude. Remember and speak your 12 attitudes of mastery, your 12 responsibilities of mastery. What's up, homies? Yeah, baby. Yeah. Party.